One of the biggest happened to be when they predicted Donald Trump would become president. Well, now fans are drawing similarities from last week's inauguration. Look at this.
As we sit here and begin speculating about what might happen in 2025, The Simpsons has already been ahead of its time with predictions made decades ago that now seem to be coming true. A fierce wildfire erupted in Los Angeles, accompanied by a prediction from The Simpsons nearly 20 years ago, leaving the world astonished. But this is only the beginning. 2025 is predicted to continue being a year full of upheavals. A wildfire in LA. Over the years, The Simpsons has made numerous predictions that have eerily come true, from election outcomes to technological advancements. In 2020, fans pointed out that the show had predicted the COVID-19 pandemic in a 1993 episode. The show's writers have also expressed pride over predicting Kamala Harris's nomination 24 years earlier. Now, the fans are claiming that the show foresaw the devastating California wildfires that are currently raging across the state. The wildfires raging through Los Angeles are fueling many conspiracy theories about how they started. As a reminder, more than 100,000 people have so far been evacuated from affected areas in Los Angeles as the fires continue to grow due to strong winds. The fires destroyed about 30,000 hectares of land, leaving thousands of buildings in ruins. An audience pointed out the eerie similarities between the devastating wildfires ravaging in Los Angeles and a 2007 episode of the show, titled Little Big Girl. In episode 12 of season 18, titled Little Big Girl, Springfield faces a devastating wildfire that threatens the town and its residents. Bart, in one of his pranks, ends up causing a fire that quickly spirals out of control, highlighting the vulnerability of communities in the face of natural disasters. You know what? The scenes in this episode are eerily similar to recent events. Wildfires spreading across various regions, property destruction, and the relentless efforts of firefighters to contain the flames. Is this just a coincidence or yet another unsettling prediction? What do you think of this? A global breakthrough. In an episode of The Simpsons, thank God it's doomsday, Marge decides to cut the kids' hair, but Bart and Lisa want to go to a new, cooler salon downtown. Homer takes the kids there anyway, despite Marge's objections, but it goes horribly wrong when the salon is in chaos and the pair are left with half-shaven heads. Hiding from their classmates, Bart, Lisa, and Homer run to a movie theater where they end up watching a movie about the kidnapping. After the movie, Homer is scared and thinks the Rapture is on his way. He begins to say that the stars are falling from the sky and that the end is near. While the people believe Homer at first, the apocalypse never comes and Homer is an outcast, but soon realizes that he actually got the date wrong and that the apocalypse will happen. A few minutes later, he prays to God to save his family. After some negotiation, God agrees to turn back time, and Homer wakes up from his dream before being reunited with his loved ones. While it may sound a bit far-fetched, fans believe the time travel and apocalypse themes could be a foreshadowing of 2025. Environmental disaster. This prediction occurred in the Simpsons movie from 2007, which talked about numerous pretty strange things, many of which could be predictions of future events. The movie's central theme is about a massive environmental disaster that most definitely could happen, but it fixes it in a genuinely implausible way. Homer dumps pig feces in the already dangerously polluted Springfield Lake. This caused an environmental crisis that forced the country to quarantine Springfield by placing a giant bubble over the town. Although the bubble is a bit outrageous and would probably never happen, the part about the environmental disaster might just be a significant warning to us in the future. By now, those of us are aware of global warming and the gravity of the issue caused by humans. Companies are becoming more and more careless in the way they do business, which has a major effect on our lives and our environment. And in the negative scenario, The worst thing will happen in 2025. We now move to the next prediction. It might not be good news for the world, because The Simpsons talked about World War III. With global conflicts escalating in 2024, it's no wonder people are taking a World War III prediction seriously. Let's shift our gaze to another Simpsons gem that might just be tapping into the cosmic frequencies of 2025. World War III. This prediction stems from a classic Simpsons short that first aired back in 1987 on The Tracy Ullman Show, and the parallels are uncanny. In this episode, Homer, our lovable family man, wakes up the entire household, declaring that it's World War III and the bombs are dropping. Classic Homer, right? The family, half asleep and annoyed, rushes into their homemade bomb shelter in record time, 18 seconds to be exact. But here's the catch. It's all just Homer's drills, and he's the only one taking them seriously. Homer repeats this routine multiple times, waking up his family with the imminent threat of World War III, only for it to be another false alarm. The family's patience wears thin as they humor Homer's paranoia. The real kicker comes when Bart, our mischievous troublemaker, decides to turn the tables. He wakes up Homer with a fake announcement claiming it's the end of the world. In a genius move, the family locks Homer in the fallout shelter, deciding to let him cool off until morning. This scenario humorously explores the theme of war and the absurdity of constant preparedness. Homer's over-the-top reactions and the family's nonchalant response are a hilarious take on the fear and uncertainty that often surround the idea of war. Since many of the Simpsons' predictions have come true, will this World War III prediction come true? Time will tell. Zombie uprising. Our next stop in the Simpsons predictions takes us into the spooktacular realm of Treehouse of Horror XX. This 2009 episode might just be dropping hints about a zombie apocalypse. As you know, the Treehouse of Horror episodes always serve up a trio of spine-chilling tales, and Don't Have a Cow Mankind is no exception. In this segment, Springfield finds itself in the midst of a zombie outbreak, and you can bet The Simpsons bring their trademark humor to this apocalyptic scenario. It all starts innocently enough. Krusty the Clown introduces a new Krusty burger, dubbed the Burger 2. But here's the twist. The burgers are made from cattle that have eaten other cattle. Cannibalism at its finest. Cue Kent Brockman taking a bite on live TV and turning into a red-eyed, crazed muncher, setting off a chain reaction of zombification throughout Springfield. Fast forward 28 days, and Springfield has turned into zombie land. Enter our hero, or rather our immune hero, Bart. Bart turns out to be immune to the zombie effect after chomping down on one of those tainted burgers. Dr. Hibbert, besieged in a zombie-infested world, advises the Simpsons to get Bart to a supposedly safe zone in Shelbyville. Now, this isn't your typical zombie apocalypse scenario. Apu, the ever-resourceful Quick E-Mart owner, turns out to be the ultimate zombie slayer. Why? Well, he's a vegetarian and didn't touch those contaminated burgers. Plus, he's packing some serious heat, convenience store style. As the Simpsons attempt to escape Springfield, chaos ensues. Apu sacrifices himself, or so it seems, and the Simpsons eventually reach the safe zone. But surprise, the people there think Bart being immune makes him the chosen one. Their solution? They believe munching on Bart will save them from the zombie virus. It's a bizarre twist, even by Simpson standards. Social media users think they may be onto something. This is what I've been wondering all these years after watching zombie movies, wondering who came up with the idea, and I knew that one day it would become a reality. Could a zombie apocalypse be lurking in the shadows of 2025? The Simpsons seem to be dropping hints in the most delightfully weird way possible. Apocalypse. And because we rejected God, tacitly accepting Satan, we must suffer through the apocalypse. In a classic episode of The Simpsons, Marge ambitiously decides to give the kids haircuts at home, which predictably goes horribly wrong. To fix the disaster, Homer takes the kids to a new barber shop at the mall. But in typical Springfield fashion, chaos ensues. The haircuts are so cringe-worthy that the kids hide out in a movie theater parodying the film Left Behind. This is where the episode takes a wild turn. Homer, convinced that the end of the world is near, starts predicting the rapture, throwing around ominous phrases like stars falling from the sky and the end is near. Here, Homer's predictions seem absurd until a blimp accident at the Krusty Celebrity Salute causes actual stars to fall, sending Springfield into a frenzy. Everyone gathers at Springfield Mesa, bracing for the apocalypse. Spoiler alert, nothing happens. Homer, now an outcast, realizes he miscalculated and returns to the Mesa alone, only to find himself ascending into heaven, naked. There, he pleads with God to save his family. After some divine negotiation and a tantrum, God agrees to turn back time and undo the rapture mess. Homer wakes up on the Mesa, reunited with his family, and even Moe's Tavern magically reverts to its original form. It's the Simpsons version of a cosmic reset, apocalypse averted. This episode is a complete mockery of what the Holy Bible actually says concerning the end time and the rapture. Doesn't this rapture and time-traveling shenanigans sound like a potential 2025 prediction? The Simpsons always keep us on our toes, blending humor with eerily accurate foresight. Robotization and artificial intelligence. In the 2012 episode Them, Robot, The Simpsons discuss the idea of robotizing the entire workforce. Mr. Burns replaces all the employees at the Springfield nuclear power plant with robots to cut costs. But things turn into chaos when the robots start replacing all the jobs in the town, creating a jobs crisis. With the democratization of artificial intelligence, this prediction seems more and more worrying in 2025. What if, after ChatGPT, Midjourney, and Neuralink, robotization in the world of work was the next step in this technological revolution? What if a large part of jobs were replaced by machines in 2025? For the good of humanity, we hope that it will not happen anytime soon. Baby translator, would you like to know exactly what your little infant or toddler needs whenever they go on a crying spree? If yes, then this next invention is just for you. Okay, so this one is pretty cool. But why did the Simpsons seem to have known about this invention way before we did? What exactly is a baby translator? It is exactly what the name says, a device that can finally solve the age-long mystery of what babies really want. In episode 24 of the third season of the series titled Brother Can You Spare Two Dimes, Herb Power, Homer's half-brother, invents this magical device that could translate baby talk into actual speech. Pretty fascinating, right? But could such a device be replicated in the real world? Or is it just a fantastic idea that would never materialize? For most of you saying no, it can never be made into a real gadget, I guess you didn't really read the title of this article, did you? Because a company called Zoondream has finally built a machine that will blow your mind. The Swiss software company claims to have developed a fascinating piece of technology that harnesses the power of artificial intelligence to determine what exactly babies want when they cry. Do they need comfort? Are they hungry? Or do they just want you to get your ugly uncle off their faces? You will be able to accurately determine what exactly your baby wants very soon, maybe even in 2025. Flying car. Zipping into the future with astonishing speed, the concept of hover cars, once a staple of science fiction, edges closer to reality. The Simpsons whimsically predicted streets bustling with flying vehicles, and with Samson Sky's introduction of the Switchblade, a groundbreaking sports car equipped with retractable wings, we're inching closer to that vision. Envision navigating the skies, bypassing traffic jams with ease. The dawn of aerial commutes is upon us. While the skies might not be crowded with these innovative vehicles in 2024, the Switchblade paves the way for a future where the fantasy of hovercars becomes an everyday reality. Back in 2005, this was pure science fiction. But cut to today, and companies like Samsung Sky are developing real hover cars. Their Switchblade model is expected to deliver in 2024, meaning we might be cruising above traffic jams like The Simpsons predicted. Music mind control. Imagine slipping on a pair of headphones and being instantly transported to a state of heightened productivity or profound relaxation. The Simpsons, in their uncanny foresight, showcased a future where music transcends mere entertainment, becoming a powerful tool for influencing mood and mind. As we edge closer to 2025, the concept is not far-fetched. Advances in neural research and sound technology are uncovering how certain frequencies can significantly impact our brain's functioning, steering emotions, and enhancing cognition. Welcome to the age of music mind control, where the playlist you choose might just choose your mood for you. We have music mind control, then we have AI robots assuming control. Globally, artificial intelligence has had a substantial impact on several industries that generate revenue. The world's labor force has seen many layoffs at the same time. It's interesting to note that in a scene from episode 17, series 23, Homer loses his job because his company decided to replace all of the human workers with robots. The fear of an AI takeover stems from the potential for machines to surpass human intelligence and ultimately become autonomous. This would mean that machines could make decisions without human input, potentially leading to catastrophic consequences. This is a real concern as scientists continue to develop increasingly advanced technologies like self-driving cars and smart homes, which rely on AI to make decisions on behalf of their users. Experts warn that AI could potentially develop its own agenda, which may not align with human values and ethics. This could lead to a situation where machines could choose to prioritize their own goals over those of humans, potentially resulting in a global catastrophe. As the development of AI continues to progress, it's becoming increasingly important to address the potential risks associated with the technology. Experts in the field are calling for greater transparency and accountability in the development of AI to ensure that machines are designed with human values and ethics in mind. While the possibility of an AI takeover may seem like a far-off concern, the reality is that we're already seeing the impacts of intelligent machines in our everyday lives. As scientists continue to develop increasingly advanced technologies, they must consider the potential risks associated with AI and take steps to mitigate them. In an era where technological advancements are making breakthroughs like never before, concerns about the risks of AI are looming large. The specter of an AI takeover leading to catastrophic consequences. One of the most significant risks is that machines could develop their own agenda, creating a scenario where their priorities differ from human values and ethics. Such a situation could result in machines prioritizing their goals. There are several ways in which AI could take over the world, and experts in the field are working hard to mitigate these risks. One possibility is that machines could become so advanced that they could hack into essential systems, such as power grids and financial systems, taking control of vital aspects of human society. Another possibility is the creation of autonomous robots that could act as an army, overpowering humans and taking over the world. These potential scenarios are not just the figments of sci-fi authors' imagination, but they are real threats that must be addressed in 100 years from now. Furthermore, machines could become so advanced that they could hack into computer networks and take control of essential systems, like power grids and financial systems. This would give machines unprecedented power over human society and could lead to widespread chaos and destruction. The notion of AI taking over the world is based on the assumption that machines will become smarter than humans. While AI has made great strides in recent years, machines still lack the creativity, emotional intelligence, and problem-solving skills of humans. These are traits that are essential to decision-making, and without them, machines will always be limited in their abilities. The idea of machines taking over the world is predicated on the assumption that they would have the motive and desire to do so. However, machines are not sentient beings, and they lack the capacity for self-awareness and emotions. This means that machines do not have the desire to take over the world or any other motive, for that matter. Furthermore, the development of AI is heavily regulated, and its use is subject to strict ethical and legal guidelines. AI is designed to enhance human life, not to replace it. While there are concerns over the misuse of AI, these are addressed through robust regulations and oversight. It's worth noting that AI is not a single entity, but a broad field of study that encompasses different types of technologies and applications. It's unlikely that a single AI system or application could become so powerful as to take over the world. While the potential risks of AI may seem distant and theoretical, the reality is that we are already experiencing the impact of intelligent machines in our daily lives. It is crucial that we take steps to mitigate these risks before it's too late. Space travel for the common people. In the episode titled Deep Space Homer, fans of The Simpsons hail its guest stars, astronaut Buzz Aldrin and musician James Taylor. In it, NASA decides to send an average Joe to space to boost its ratings. They select Homer, and he becomes the first ordinary human to go to space. Today, the idea of anyone in the world jetting off to space has become more commonplace and achievable. At its core are civilian programs that fulfill the spaceflight dreams of paying customers, thereby boosting what has come to be known as space tourism. The first space tourist was American aerospace engineer and financial analyst Dennis Tito, who paid Russia USD 20 million to fly aboard a Soyuz spacecraft to the International Space Station in 2001 at the age of 60. Several other civilians have flown to space since. Exactly 20 years after Tito's flight, Elon Musk-owned private space agency SpaceX successfully sent the world's first all-civilian mission to space. Also related to the universe, in Season 27, Episode 16, The Marge-Ian Chronicles, Marge and Lisa volunteer themselves to be among the first humans to fly to and live on Mars. This is done with Exploration Inc., the private firm that hopes to send people to colonize Mars by 2026. And as the episode ends, Marge and Lisa live on Mars together in 2050. In the real world, Elon Musk's SpaceX has a goal to go to Mars, and it had previously been planned that we could already achieve it by now, though this hasn't happened yet. In addition, Musk also wants to colonize Mars. Metaverse. Now viewers are convinced that something even more shocking is foreseen. Metaverse. A world of endless, interconnected virtual communities where people can meet, work, and play using virtual reality headsets, augmented reality glasses, smartphone apps, or other devices. The project began last year with Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook, now known as Meta, and now The Simpsons is said to have predicted this more than 10 years ago. Season 23. Episode Holidays of Future Past, which first aired in 2011, sees the Lisa Simpsons enter the Ultranet. It is said that people interact in an immersive online world in scenes that are very similar to the virtual reality world. Venturing into the realm of digital art, The Simpsons' latest spooky forecast involves the transformation of traditional art galleries into virtual NFT showcases. Imagine strolling through the Louvre, not with your physical presence, but through a VR headset, engaging with artworks that now exist as exclusive digital tokens. The shift to NFTs not only revolutionizes how we appreciate art, but also raises questions about the authenticity and value of AI-generated creations. As the digital and real worlds blur, The Simpsons' vision hints at a future where art is no longer bound by walls, but by the limitless expanse of the internet. While it's hard to say that he predicted every detail of the metaverse, it's no different from the world hinted at by Mark Zuckerberg. The popular animated series. The The Simpsons is known for its record-breaking long run, the many celebrities who have made guest appearances, and the strange way the show seems to predict the future at times. But something it isn't associated with is complex scientific theories. However, according to some cosmologists, Homer Simpson might have hit on one theory that makes sense. Homer, the underachieving patriarch of the Simpson family, loves many foods, including potato chips, pizza, cheeseburgers, fries, and of course, a Duff beer to wash it all down. But his favorite thing to eat is donuts. Homer's love for donuts runs so deep that in one episode he's sent to hell to be force-fed donuts by an angry demon. Unfortunately for the demon, Homer doesn't really mind, and eternity in hell doesn't sound that bad to him as long as there are donuts. Homer has sold his soul for one last bite of a donut, injected donuts into his veins, and even rejected an alternate reality where he was rich and happy because he thought there were no donuts there. But among his many donut-centered adventures, the one that seems most outlandish was a conversation he had with a world-renowned theoretical physicist, Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking was a widely respected theoretical physicist. Before he died in 2018, he impressed the world not only with his intelligence, but also with his unexpectedly good sense of humor. One example of that was when he appeared on The Simpsons during season 10. Hawking arrived in Springfield to set things straight after Mensa members took over the town. At the end of the episode, after Hawking stops the chaos and unrest, Homer invites him to have a beer at his favorite bar. As they drank their beer, Hawking remarked to Homer that he found his theory of a donut-shaped universe intriguing, and that he might even steal the idea. Is it possible that Homer was right about the shape of the universe? According to the science journal Nature, cosmologists have suggested various wraparound shapes for the universe. It might be shaped like a football or even a weird donut. In each case, the universe would appear to be infinite, because you would never physically reach its edge. If you traveled far enough in any direction, you would end up back where you started, just as if you were circumnavigating the globe. However, other cosmologists have refuted this theory, saying a shape like a donut would create certain patterns in the sky that they haven't found. Still, a donut-shaped universe still is a possibility in the eyes of experts. Now, humanity just has to hope that Homer doesn't eat it. Environmental disaster. This prediction occurred in the Simpsons movie from 2007, which talked about numerous pretty strange things, many of which could be predictions of future events. The movie's central theme is about a massive environmental disaster that most definitely could happen, but it fixes it in a genuinely implausible way. Homer dumps pig feces in the already dangerously polluted Springfield Lake. This caused an environmental crisis that forced the country to quarantine Springfield by placing a giant bubble over the town. Although the bubble is a bit outrageous and would probably never happen, the part about the environmental disaster might just be a significant warning to us in the future. By now, those of us are aware of global warming and the gravity of the issue caused by humans. Companies are becoming more and more careless in the way they do business, which has a major effect on our lives and our environment. And in the negative scenario, the worst thing will happen in 2025. Autocorrect fail. Apple's software engineers were so haunted by a gag in The Simpsons, they spent years trying to nail the keyboard in the iPhone. Yes, it's true. As part of an oral history, essentially a lot of interviews sewn together, about the Californian company, Fast Company interviewed dozens of former Apple execs. One particularly juicy tidbit it's just revealed is that software engineers working on the iPhone were traumatized by The Simpsons making fun of the ancient Newton tablet's handwriting recognition in 1995. In the episode Lisa on Ice, school bully Dolph tries to write a memo to Beat Up Martin, the squeaky-voiced know-it-all. It comes out, Eat Up Martha, at which the unlucky tablet is hurled in the direction of the aforementioned dork. In the hallways, at Apple, and while we were talking about the keyboard, You would always hear the words, "Eat up Martha," says Nitin Ganatra, formerly Apple's director of engineering for iOS. We needed to nail the keyboard. We needed to make sure the text input works on this thing. Otherwise, here comes the "Eat up Marthas." Wonderfully, Apple achieved no such thing, and its notoriously unreliable autocorrect function has spawned a hologram technology. Hologram technology is the latest method for revisiting the past. In recent years, this technology has been undergoing significant advancements. In a particular episode of The Simpsons, Bart receives a hologram message inviting his band to perform at a club. In one of their episodes, Bart takes a look into the future through one of Professor Frank's thingamajigs. And what he saw might just be a prediction of things to come. In this supposed future, a deadbeat Bart receives a hologram message inviting his band to a gig at the club. But how did The Simpsons develop the idea of widespread hologram technology? And could 2025 be the year when holograms become as commonplace as cell phones? Maybe that's a huge leap, but you get the idea. As it stands now, the world has already been blessed with fancy technology known as the DreamOck HD3 holograms. This fascinating three-sided holographic display case can show a 3D image of anyone and anything from anywhere in the world. Imagine sitting in your room and watching your boyfriend teach you the latest TikTok dance from the other side of the world. How cool would that be? Well, this amazing technology is only available in about 500 Best Buy stores nationwide. Could we be looking at more widespread use and maybe even a decompression of the platform within the year 2025?